Hey, boys and girls. I hope that you all are doing well. Hope everybody's staying safe. I miss you guys already, but as you know, we're always busy from the time our day starts to the time our day ends, and nothing changes now that we're at home. So I did want to make these videos just so we can keep up with the instructions, so you guys can be smart and ready to go to first grade. All right, so let's just get started. And I'll continue to post videos in order to help parents, in order to help the kids make sure that they stay on track with their learning, because they've made such great progress over the years, over this school year, that we want to make sure we continue that so that they're prepared for first grade. So at this start, we start by reading a story. It's called Love You Forever. So the title of our book is Love You Forever. And of course, our author, the person who writes the story, is Robert Manouche. And then our illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. Her name is Sheila McGraw. So this is our front cover. Here's our back cover. This is what we call the spine. And the spine helps keeps our pages together so our pages won't fall out of our book. So remember, as I read the story, always listen for the characters. And the characters are the people that are in the story. Make sure you listen for our setting. The setting tells us when the story happens and where the story happens. And then we'll focus on our plot, or what actually happens in our story. Okay? So, title of our story again is Love You Forever. A mother held her new baby and very slowly rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held him, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The baby grew, he grew, and he grew, and he grew. He grew until he was 2 years old, and he ran all around the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator. He took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Sometimes his mother would say, "This kid is driving me crazy." But at night, when that 2-year-old was quiet, she opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of his bed, and if he was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. While she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The little boy grew. He grew, and he grew, and he grew. He grew until he was 9 years old, and he never wanted to come in for dinner. He never wanted to take a bath. Ew. And when grandmother visited, he always said bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. But at nighttime, when he was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If he was really asleep, she picked up that 9-year-old boy and rocked him back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The boy grew. He grew, and he grew, and he grew. He grew until he was a teenager. He had strange friends, and he wore strange clothes, and he listened to strange music. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in a zoo. But at nighttime, when that teenager was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If he really was asleep, she'd pick up that great big boy and rock him back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. While she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." That teenager grew. He grew and grew and grew. He grew until he was a grown-up man. he left home and got a house across town. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother got into her car and drove across town. If all the lights in her son's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of his bed. If that great big man was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth and back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Well, that mother, she got older, and she got older and older and older. And one day she called up her son and said, "You better come see me because I'm very old and sick." So her son came to see her. And when he came in the door, she tried to sing the song. She sang, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. But she couldn't finish because she was too old and sick. The son went to his mother. He picked her up and rocked her back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be." When the son came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. Then he went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his arms and very slowly rocked her back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And while he rocked her, he sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The end. All right, guys. So who were our characters in this story? So we had the son, and we had his mom, and then we had some minor characters like grandma. They spoke about grandma, and he had his very own baby. So he talked about his very own baby at the end. So our story happens, our setting usually happens when they were at home. So we watched as the little boy grew from a little boy to a grown man who has a little baby of his own. And so in our story, we saw how he starts off as a little boy and his mom is singing to him because she loves him so very much. And even as he got older, his mom still loved him the same and would still sing that song until when she was old, she couldn't do those things anymore. So instead, it was the son's turn to take care of his mom. And so he held her in his arms and he sang to her and made her feel real love to show her how much he loved her because she loved him first. So that's our story for today. Love you forever. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will be seeing you all really soon. Bye-bye, guys.